Hi, everybody, and welcome tonight to this awesome webinar. We're so excited to have you here. My partner, Dawn, is running a little bit late. There was one of her children had a sporting event that's running over, so hopefully she'll be able to join us pretty soon. But I am Sheila Davis, and I'm the founder of LeapfrogVANetwork.com and SheilaJDavis.com. And I'm so excited to have you here. So go ahead and let me know where you're watching from and a little bit about this in the chat so we can get to know each other. And I'll just go ahead and get started. So tonight we're going to be talking about the top 5 things that you need to be doing now to elevate your online business. And so I'm really excited. I'm going to throw up a poll here. I'd like to find out from you how long you have been in business. So I'm going to go ahead and start that poll and let that run for a little bit. If you can just let us know how long that you have been in business. And so that'll give us an idea of who we have here and what's going on with you guys. But tonight what we're covering is we're going to talk about, like I said, the top 5 things that you need to be doing now, but we also have a free giveaway for you, and we also have a special offer for you as well. So be sure and stay until the end. And if you have any questions at all about online business, I hope that you will be prepared to ask those questions, because we do have an open Q&A platform at the end where you'll be able to ask any of your questions. So let's go ahead and just get started. So I'll just tell you a little bit about how I ended up where I am today with my successful businesses, and I'll tell you a little bit about Dawn as well if she's not here by the time we're ready for her. So like I said, I started Leapfrog VA Network, and that kind of came about by my working as a virtual assistant for several years, and then finding out that a lot of virtual assistants were coming to me for help, and so I started doing a little bit of coaching. But I really fought that for a long time. Like, should I be a coach? Everybody and their dog seemed to be a coach, and I didn't know if I wanted to be a coach too. So it was a really hard choice for me to switch from being a VA to being a VA coach, and then eventually moving on to being an online business coach as well. And so one thing that I learned from one of my best mentors, Maria Kritikos, founder of Ladies Who Lunch Network, was that I needed to follow my why. And so by following my why, that's how I have developed to the businesses that I have now, which is not exactly where I started out. So when I first started out, I thought I wanted to go down one path, and I ended up actually going down another path, and that worked out great because now I have 2 businesses that I love, and now working with Dawn, we're going to have a 3rd business that we love together. So let's go ahead and talk about one of the first 5 things that you need to do to elevate your online business. So the first thing that you need to do, and go ahead and write these down, but the first thing that you need to do is you need to know why. Why are you doing what you're doing? So a lot of people, when they think about this, they think, oh, well, I'm doing this because I like helping other people, or I like helping this type of person, or I really like coaching. But the why that I'm thinking of, that I want you to think of, is actually why are you doing it for you personally. So for me, I wanted to have the time to be home with my family and to be able to go to school events or take kids to the doctor or just be home if they were sick or take family trips or whatever I needed to do. And so I do it mainly for my own freedom, I guess you could say. So I changed because I was driving 45 minutes to a job where I was taking my own laptop, sitting at a conference table, working all day long on the internet, and driving home with my laptop 45 minutes. So I was basically gone about 10 to 12 hours a day, and I wanted to be able to go to these events without having to ask for time off. So if you really know your why, really deep down, and post it somewhere where you can see it, just write it on a sticky note or print it out really fancy, put it on your dream board, and whenever you start feeling discouraged, go ahead and think about, like, why am I doing what I'm doing? So Dawn, she first started out as an entrepreneur. She owned a restaurant, and she's done catering, and she's owned a couple of online businesses as well that were somewhat successful, and now she has a very successful business, DawnChitwood.com, and she is a marketing strategist and absolutely brilliant when it comes to marketing, and she's also a developer, and she's got a lot of other tools under her belt as well. And so her main why that she wanted to run her own business also was to be able to be home with her children. Her children are young, and she wanted to be able to be home. And so now she travels. She'll call me from the road, or she'll tell me that she is at her mother's house, which is across the state. And so for her, it was the same thing. So I'm guessing that a lot of you have a similar why that Dawn and I do, which is why we want to be onlinepreneurs, so that we can be home with our families. And we're very passionate about what we do as well. The next thing that we want you to think of as the next most important thing is to change your mindset. So right now, wherever you are in your online business, you have a reason that you've come to this webinar to find out how to elevate your business, right? So whatever mindset that you have right now, is something holding you back? Are you struggling with maybe, should I do, maybe run some Facebook ads? Should I change my freebie? What do I need to do? So by changing your mindset, you're going to be able to look at things from the client side. So take a look and see, what do your clients expect from you? Instead of thinking, and a lot of us do this, we think, what do I need to do for my business? So maybe let's start thinking, what do my clients need me to do for them? So also by changing your mindset, you're going to be able to remind yourself that you're the boss, and you need to make big decisions on a daily basis for your business. Now, what I like to do is, if I come to a cross in the roads, for my business, and what's the next step, and what should I be doing? If I start finding myself holding back because of fear or whatever is holding me back, I say to myself, what would the owner of Coke do? Or what would the owner of McDonald's do? Or what would Oprah do, I guess? So looking at someone else who's very successful, they don't hold back. If they come to a cross in the roads and they're like, okay, I have $100. Should I hire a virtual assistant, or should I buy Facebook ads, or should I just do it all myself, or should I just go ahead and just schedule a post? What do I need to do? So I like to think, what would these successful people do? So also you can look at the mentors that you have in your life. What do you think they would do? Business owners who are where you want to be, what would they do in that situation? So change your mindset and start to realize that you're the CEO. You have to make the choices and the decisions. And remember, as the business owner, that's just what's expected of you. You need to take action. And so by changing your mindset, you're going to be able to have that desire to take the action you need to take. So I'm going to go ahead and end this particular poll here, because I'd like to have another poll. Let's see. The next poll I would like to find out is, how did you hear about the webinar? So I'm going to go ahead and start that poll. So this helps us to know how to find more people to come to our next webinar. So go ahead, if you're watching live, let us know how you found out about the webinar. So the next thing that this brings us to is the number 3. And number 3 is the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. Now, you do need to have 1 and 2, but number 3 is really important as well. And I found, for me, number 3 was one of the biggest things that changed my business, and I know it did for Dawn as well. So Dawn and I actually met on LinkedIn. She made a post that said, kick a $$ Twitter cover image, how to make it or something. And someone went through and started bashing her about how she was using language on LinkedIn and that wasn't appropriate and whatever. And so that's actually how we became friends, because I said, oh, don't worry about that guy. People are doing it. And, even for those of us who don't swear, it's not a big deal. Just ignore it. And we actually became really good friends, and we started doing a lot of projects together. We trade work. If I need some work done that she is an expert at, I will have her help me with that, and vice versa. So we've become really good friends. So I live in Utah. She lives in North Carolina. We've never actually met in person, but we've been business partners for about 2 years. And one thing that we found is that by working with each other and having our Monday morning and now sometimes Wednesday evenings, we have an accountability session. And she asked me, okay, how did you do on your goals last week? What goals do you have for this week? How can I help? Do you need any suggestions? And I talked to her about the same thing. And so number 3 is getting the help that you and I found each other. We found we had a lot in common, but we also together made a great team. And so we work together. We basically help coaching each other. Now, we both coach online business owners separately, and now we're building this new brand where we're going to be doing it together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're actually going to be meeting in Boston at a social media event in 2 weeks, and so we'll be able to really develop our brand because we'll be able to get some pictures of us actually together. So this is our first big webinar as a team, and we're really excited. So part of getting help is finding an accountability partner for sure. Joining mastermind groups has been really helpful. I'm in a couple of mastermind groups that only have like 5 to 10 people, and we help each other. We promote each other's products and webinars. We share our landing pages and things and have each other, give us their feedback. And we ask lots of very specific questions. Now, they're private Facebook groups, and that makes it so only the people who are participating in the group can see the posts. They don't go out. So sometimes if you're in a closed group or even an open group, those posts will get out and other people can see them. But this is a private group where we can actually have some talks. And in the private mastermind groups, we also have sometimes a monthly chat where we chat by Skype, or a weekly chat. Now, these are free options for you. Also working with maybe just a small group of people that's not really a specifically organized group, but working with a small group of business owners where you have accountability with each other is really helpful, and that saves you a lot of money. Now, I believe 1,000% in hiring a business coach. So for me, I hired a business coach about a year into my business, or no, it probably was only about 6 months into my business. I hired a business coach, and I started working with Marisa Murgatroyd of Live Your Message, and with the help of going through her Live Your Message program and her storytelling program and the other programs that she has, I was able to grow my business and double it that first year. So I went from driving back and forth with my computer to working at home. I replaced my income the very first month, but by the end of that year, I was already making double what I was making when I was working full-time outside of the home. And then the next year, I started working with another coach. I started working with Stephanie Donegan of StephanieDonegan.com, and she helped me double my income again. So the second year in my business, I doubled my income. And now I've started working mostly with mentoring with some people. And with Maria Kritikos, I'm still working with Stephanie as well. For the last 2 years, I've been working with Stephanie. And my business, again, has doubled in the last couple of years. So the business is really growing, and it's going really great, and I've had some fantastic ideas, and I'm getting ready to come up with a new signature program, which is going to be amazing for the network, Leapfrog VA Network. And Dawn and I are also building this new brand together, which is going to be amazing and awesome. So by working with coaches, I have earned every penny back that I have put into working with them, because I did everything that they asked me to do when they asked me to do it, and I just stomped on that fear. When that fear started coming on, I just said, you know what, no way, fear, just go away. I don't want to stop, and I remembered my why, and I want to be available for my children, and I want to travel, and so I decided, I better just go ahead and get this done. So I went ahead with the coaches. Now I'm going to be hiring a new coach, and so when I work with the coach for a certain amount of time, I feel that they've taken me to a certain level, and now it's time for a new coach, and I can learn some new things. So from each coach, I have learned different things. So now I have narrowed it down to 2 coaches, and I am really researching it. So when you hire a coach, make sure that that coach understands your niche. Make sure that they understand what this is and that they're familiar with it. So, for example, if you are a health coach, you want to work with someone who's familiar with health coaches and with the type of clients that you're looking for. So the 2 coach that I narrowed it down to, it's going to take me a month to decide which coach I want to go with because I'm going to be really specific and really selective. The same thing with finding a mentor. So having a mentor is really important and really great, and it is a free option. Now keep in mind when you're working with a mentor, a couple of things. Their time is valuable. So I've had VAs who have mentored with me, but I have found that they try and suck a lot of time from me, and I've had others who I don't talk to enough. So typically when you're working with a mentor, maybe you have a couple of emails in the week, and maybe you have you know, a 10 or 20-minute chat during the week. If you want to try and negotiate something with them, say, hey, I'd love for you to be my mentor. What's your schedule like? Would you be able to take on someone? What can I do to help you with your business as in trade or something? So I personally, when I work with a mentor, I try and trade value for value. So if they're doing something for me, I try and do something back. So be sure when you're working with a mentor that there is value for value. Same thing with working with interns. You just want to be sure that both parties are benefiting from that. Okay, so now that that poll is ended, we actually do have a little freebie for you tonight. The freebie is our Social Media Essentials Toolkit. I'm going to put that offer up for you now. So you can go ahead and just click. You should be able just to see that and just click, and that should open up in a new window and just automatically download for you. So we worked on this together, and basically it goes over each of the different platforms of social media and how you can use them for your business and what their purpose is, the best ways to use them, and it gives you lots of tips and tricks in there for each of the social media platforms. So I find for me that Facebook and YouTube are my top two. Dawn finds that Facebook and Twitter are her top two. So it really just depends on your business and what your clients are looking for. So there's a free gift for you. Hope you enjoy that. I'm going to go over to the chat and see what we've got going on over there. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the number 4 thing that you need to do in order to elevate your online business. So it's something that I have not shared until recently, which it took me many years to have the courage to share this. But I finally have opened up, and I found that a lot of people have resonated with it, and so it's a really important story. What I found, so I actually suffer from depression, and so running my business on a daily basis is really difficult for me. And just by, you know, I just make sure that every day I do at least one thing to develop my business. And some days it includes laying in bed and thinking about the next process, and you know, that's just how it is sometimes. That's the thing that you look to. So number 4, most important thing is that you do something every single day for your business. So whether it's cleaning out your email box or clearing off your desk or you know, making at least one networking connection. I try and meet at least 10 new people and do, you know, some networking every single day, but some days that's really, really tough. So some days the only thing I get done is I clean out my inbox. And some days the only thing I get done is that I do a little bit of maintenance on my WordPress site if I'm not ready to get on social media. So tell me what it is that you struggle with and that you're going to try and do to take action every day. So at the end of the day, I actually make a list. I use Basecamp, and my list keeps getting longer and longer, just like many of you. I've recently hired a couple of VA interns who are working with me, and that's made it a lot nicer because they're helping me check things off that list. But at each night, I make a plan for what I'm going to do the very next morning. And I make sure they at least get that one thing done the next morning. And even if I have doctor's appointments with the kids or whatever, I make sure I get at least one thing done in the mornings. The other thing that I have when it comes to making sure I'm doing something every day, and as I'm planning the night before, is that I make sure that I have my Google Calendar set up. So some of you may know that I have 8 children, and so they keep me pretty busy. Most of the time I only have 4 kids at home, and that's great. But I need to know where everybody is, what they're doing. They need to know when I'm recording. They're all on the other side of the house right now trying to keep quiet because we're in the evening here. But, you know, you have to do what works best for you. So by knowing where everybody is and what everybody's doing, and my family knows what I'm doing, working with that Google Calendar makes it possible. I can do action every day. For example, I came in tonight and she said, "Hey Mom, I need to go to the library to get a book. When can we go?" And I said, "Here's my calendar." And she looked at it for for about 10 minutes and tried to find some white space in there. And she said, "Oh, look, Mom, you can take me tomorrow as long as we go right after school and we hustle right back home before your next appointment." So working with those Google Calendars, even at the age of 13, they can help you squeeze things in. So as long as you make time for your family. The other thing, when it says when I talk about doing something, at least one thing every day, the one thing I do for myself specifically on Sundays is I actually take Sundays completely off. I don't, I've let my clients know I don't check my email. Occasionally I slip and I do, but for the most part I try really hard not to check my email. I don't do social media for business. That's the only day that I do it for personal. And I try to keep my phone off. I do not turn my computer on unless there's an emergency. And that's one thing that I do on Sundays. I do for myself, for my business, is I unplug. And so be sure that you're taking a day to unplug as well. So you're doing something every single day, 6 days a week, but it's okay to take at least one day and take a break. And just unplug, relax, do something for yourself, kick your feet up, watch TV, whatever it is that helps you to relax. Okay? So let me go ahead and talk about number 5, which is the most important thing out of everything. On a daily basis, we all find ourselves saying either in our minds, just keep going, or, you know, you can do it, or just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And so, yeah, number 5, the most important thing that you can do is to not give up. Do not ever give up on your business. Now, there have been several times I have thought about giving up. I was given a huge opportunity. When I first started out as a VA, I worked with realtors, and I was doing transaction management, and then I started doing branding and social media strategies for real estate agents, and I was very successful at it. And I had actually 2 mortgage companies come to me in the same month, one in New Jersey and one here in Utah, and they came to me and they said, "We want to hire you to develop a program we can sell or give away to the realtors who come and work with our mortgage company." And these were big mortgage companies. One of them had a list of more than 30,000 homeowners, and the other one just, I mean, millions. And if I named them, you would know who they were. And they came to me and they said, all you have to do is create the program and be available in case they want to have some one-on-one. And so that was like the best opportunity ever, right? So basically all I have to do is create a program, put it up for download, and then I would wait for people to call and I would just have money rolling in. And these programs were going to be, you know, between $200 and $600 each for the programs. Well, as soon as I started working on that, I started getting really sick, and I started getting really sad, and I started getting really depressed. And I found that no matter how many times I had in the past created social media strategies and built these programs, and I even had some that were already made, I could not do this. And I actually found that after about 3 weeks, I just realized that this was not what I wanted to do. So even though I was given this huge opportunity, and I probably would have multiplied my income by 100 times, it's not what I wanted to do. And I almost gave up at that time because I thought, I'm going to give up on this huge opportunity. What am I thinking? But that's when I realized that switching from working with realtors to working with VAs was what I loved doing more. And once I realized that, I became more passionate about what I was doing. And that helped me, going back to my why, going back to what I loved, is what helped me overcome that. And that's actually happened to me twice in my business. The 2 times that I have almost given up, I have been reminded, and the second time was by, like I said, my mentor, Maria Kritikos at ladieswholunchnetwork.com. She was doing a live call, and I was on the live call just listening along. And I was actually doing dishes because it was on the call, so I had my headphones in, I was doing dishes, and I was really only kind of halfway listening, to be honest. And all of a sudden she said, do what you love. And it's just like one of those faceplant moments, right? So I tell people this all the time as a coach. I tell them, is this what you are, is this what you're excited about doing? I hear in your voice that you're not excited today about this. Well, how can I help you get excited about it? And so it's like one of those faceplant moments where I was like, and that's when I made another turn in my business and everything started working smoothly again. So don't give up. If you feel like you need to give up, maybe it's because you're not going down the road that you want to go down. Maybe it's because you need to make some tweaks or some changes. Maybe you need to rebrand. Maybe you need to meet some new people, join some different groups, surround yourself with different people. Whatever you need to do to not give up is going to help you advance in your business. And so for me, if I feel like I'm going to give up, I'll talk to a mentor, or I'll call Dawn up. And sometimes I'll even talk to my kids. I'll go for a drive, but I definitely like to unplug sometimes when I'm going through that. And so just don't give up, because you never know. I mean, you've seen that picture, right, of the guy that's digging through the cave, and there's one guy that was digging and he stopped and he started walking away, and then the other guy was digging and digging and digging, and you could see that he was still in motion, and there was a diamond on both sides. So the one guy gave up right before he found the big diamond, and the other guy is still digging when he found the diamond. So I'm glad I kept digging and I didn't give up, and I hope that you don't give up either. So let me go ahead and in talking about this and talking about what you need to do to elevate your business, is that, the top 5 things that you need to do to not elevate your business. Definitely don't give up. Take action. Do something every day. Get the help that you need, whether it's working with a coach, working with a mentor, working with a mastermind group, whatever it takes for you to change your mindset, to remember that you're the CEO and keep moving, and definitely remember your why. So another thing that we would like to offer you is this online business analysis. Now, Dawn and I worked on this for months and months, and we actually use this each time with our clients, and we use it when we were starting this new business. So we started a business called Advice Chicks, and it really didn't resonate with the people that we were working with, so we realized that we needed to rebrand, and we learned this because we did our own online business analysis, and so now we're making some new changes. We're going to move on to Elevate Your Online Biz, and we're going to build this new brand, and we're hoping that you'll join us. But we have this online business analysis that we created that is phenomenal. We worked really hard on it, and it will help you evaluate where you are right now in your business. It will help you determine what you need to do next, help you set the goals that you need. It will help you show you the goals that you need to be looking for, and it will help you know what to do next. And we even cover a few things about what you can do once you reach those goals in there. So normally we charge $197 for this, but today we're going to offer it to you for only $97. And we know that if you go through this, and I think it's like 50 pages long. It's really long, and it has a lot of really in-depth questions. And along with this business analysis, once you complete this, or if you run into any questions at all, you are welcome to get in touch with us, and we will do a half-an-hour strategy session with you to go over that online business analysis, or just the parts that work or that you're having a hard time on. So if you go ahead and take advantage of this today, this is only going to be available for 24 hours for $97, and after that it'll go back to the normal $197. And actually, after we rebrand it with our new business, we actually may be offering this for even more. So this is a great opportunity to take advantage of this. And we've had a couple of business owners who have done this. We have had Pam, who is a virtual assistant, has done this, and she was able to really grow her business and develop what she's trying to do with her business. We've also had a Beachbody coach, Rebecca Bain, has done this as well, and she found it extremely helpful, and it really helped her get some focus on her business as well. And so we know that we've used it, we use it with our clients, and we know that you'll find it very valuable. So let's go ahead and see. Does anybody have any questions? Are you guys struggling with anything, branding, social media, marketing? Are you struggling with anything right now? What wall have you hit, or what is keeping you from moving on to the next level? Are there any questions that we can answer for you tonight before we end the call? And I'm just going to take a quick drink really quick. I'm getting kind of dry here. One of the questions that we get asked a lot, and that we answer a lot for partners, has to do with freebies. Now, so I'll just go ahead and cover that. So when it comes to freebies for your online business, it's a great idea to change that out at least every 3 months. Even if you have to go back and forth between 2 different items, or the best thing is to create new items every 3 months and make sure that you keep that rotating out so that you get more and more subscribers. And typically what we do when we have a new freebie is that we send it to everybody who's already on our list, and then we offer it on the website as well. So there's not anybody missing out. You can use the same list on your autoresponder, and so then if they go to sign up, it doesn't give them the message, oh, you're already signed up. So, but they can get every freebie from you. And the freebies, a couple of ways that you can go about finding out. I mean, a lot of people come to us and ask us, I don't know how to come up with an idea for my freebie. Well, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. If you are in a group with your ideal client, go in there and read all the questions from the last 2 weeks or week, or sometimes I go back as far as a month. And I find a question that really resonates with me, that may have a lot of responses, or that has been asked several times. And by asking, by checking out those questions that people are asking, that's how you can create your freebie. So a lot of people would ask in a certain group that I was in, how do I build my list? And so someone created a freebie on, just a little download quickie, how you can increase your list. And for me, for the realtors, they were asking questions, how do I use Facebook? So I created a Facebook one. How do I come up with, how do I get my list to interact with me? So I created a freebie on how they can get their list to interact. So reading those posts in the groups are a fantastic way. Another way is to take a poll of your ideal client. So just post it in one of your groups. Hey, I'm taking a quick survey. I'd love for you to answer this quick 3-question survey. And the best way to do is not leave open-ended questions. Maybe have one open-ended question, but for most of the questions, it's best to have like a yes or no or multiple choice, because then you can see the percentages, right? And you can see that 90% of the people really wanted to learn PicMonkey, or 15% really wanted to use Google+, and absolutely nobody wanted to learn something else. Then you can decide what freebies you want to offer. And so try and change that out. So hopefully that answers some freebie questions for you. It looks like Karen has a question. She says, marketing is the wall that I have hit. How do I decide where to go next? Facebook ads, email marketing, do people still use direct mail? Well, Karen, that's a really good question, and that's what a lot of business owners run into. And to be honest, our business analysis will totally answer that question for you, because there's a lot of things that go into that question. So I'll just give you an answer as if you had a virtual assistant business, or if you had an online coaching business, okay? So if you have some kind of online coaching business or something like that where you're offering a service, then Facebook ads are brilliant. And definitely doing webinars is a fantastic way to do marketing. So if there's lots of different marketing, right? So there's video marketing, there's networking marketing, there's webinar marketing, there is free gift marketing. I mean, Dawn is like the marketing expert. I wish she was here to answer this question better for you. But Facebook ads would be great if you have an online business, you're doing coach, and you offer do is something like a 90-day video challenge, or even a 30-day video challenge if 90 days is too long for you. But when you are out there in front of people, so a lot of people, I guess, Dawn and I look at marketing a little bit differently. To me, marketing is getting myself in front of people and getting them to understand what I'm doing so that they'll come to me and resonate with me. So what I like to do is I'll do a video challenge where I'll post its video every single day on my Facebook group, and then I'll share it in some of the other, or on my Facebook page, and then share it into some of my groups. So that works really great for my business. It's just a quick 1 to 2 minute video where I explain something. So I've seen people do a 1 to 2 minute video on how to make a video or what kind of headset to use. So a lot of people, you know, I just use a little earpiece right here, and I have an outside mic like this that I use. And people will literally do a 1 to 2 minute video, and it gets eaten up. My biggest video post has been up for less than a year, and it's how to create an alias on Gmail, and people are eating it up. They love it. I've had almost 5,000 hits on that one video alone, and I did it for a friend because I needed to teach her how to do it. And so find out what your people like to do and create a short video, post a whole bunch of them. Then as you're building people up to get interested in you, start posting things like that they can download, start grabbing their emails. And then what you can do is a webinar. And in that webinar, then you can tell them about a product that you're selling or a service that you're offering, and that will get people interested. So the best way to start out is to get people to recognize who you are, get them familiar with you, give them a lot of free value, then give them maybe something at a lower price, and then start increasing your price from there. And so that is what works best for the clients that I've worked with. As far as direct mail, that's on your business. So I was talking to someone in Boston the other day, and she has, one of her clients is a taxi driver, and they do direct mail, and it works brilliantly for him. So he will mail out a postcard that has some information on it, and people will put it, you know, and will ping it on their refrigerator, or he'll take it by restaurants, and restaurants will keep it at their desk. They'll take their, you know, a little place where they can say, you need a cab, okay, call this guy, here's his number, and that works right for him. Direct mail also sometimes works for realtors. I have found that a lot of people are overburdened by realtors with direct mail, so they don't really, it isn't as effective. I know a lot better ways for realtors to get leads rather than direct mail. So it really depends on where you are, who your target market is, and what you're trying to accomplish. So hopefully that answered your question. I really wish Dawn had been here. I hope she's okay. She had a little soccer game or something. So hopefully that answered your question, Karen. Does anyone have any questions before we take off here? You guys have been so great and so quiet, and I appreciate you joining me tonight for this later webinar. And I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you take advantage of the business analysis, because it's, oh, she's here, yay!
Yay, I know.
I was worried
finally.
that something happened to you. Are you okay?
No, my kids are just finally asleep.
Oh, I figured after the soccer game maybe they were a little riled up. Well, you joined us just in time, and maybe you want to help with this question here. I tried to answer it my best, and I'm sure I didn't do as well as you can do. I don't know if you can see Karen's question there. But she asked, oh good, she said my information was helpful, but maybe you have a better idea. She says, marketing is the wall that I've hit. How do I decide where to go next? Facebook ads, email marketing, or do people still use direct mail?
People still do use direct mail. Of course, I'm not a big proponent of it. Of course, it depends heavily, I think, upon what industry she's in. Where can I see what is her business?
She didn't say what her business is, and I kind of covered, like I said that, you know, it really depends on your business, and it depends on where you are in your business. I said for a taxi driver it's going to be great, but if you're an online business coach it may not work as well. But maybe going with Facebook ads and doing some little short quick videos, 1 to 2 minutes, and then having a free giveaway, and then, you know, doing a webinar. That was what I suggested.
And my biggest thing is if you have had any kind of life on your domain, your website, if you've got Google Analytics, if you can go into Google Analytics and you can look and see where your traffic source is coming from, so when you look into the analytics and you go to referrals, you'll see where your traffic is coming from. So normally most of the traffic is coming from direct traffic, so people are typing in your website. But beyond that, is the traffic coming from organic search? Is it coming from social referrals? Is it coming from email marketing? Do you do email marketing? So that's a big thing, because if you don't have a lot of money to dump into marketing, you want to see where it's coming from and capitalize on that, where it's already coming from. So I know a lot of people who will get organic search and they don't even realize that they're getting it from organic search, and it's coming from, say, blog posts. If it is coming from organic search, then you want to look and see where your most popular pages are and the entrance pages. And so that can be really helpful if you're blogging, to see where the most popular posts are. And so that's a huge referral source for you. So there's so many different factors in what's the next big step, but the way that I would say is the best way that you can kind of figure that out and capitalize on what's already working is by looking at your analytics.
Yeah, you know, that's really great, because I actually do that on a daily basis to see where my traffic is coming from, and that is really helpful. It's amazingly helpful. The other thing I suggested to her was, I've already talked about the online business analysis, and I said, you know, since you and I don't really know her business, and for anyone else, if they do that online business analysis, by the time they're done, they're going to know exactly where to be, you know, working on their marketing, because that thing, I mean, it's over. It can be, I mean, it asks you every question possible about your business, and it really helps you get clear on where you are, where you want to be, and how to get there.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough. I mean, if people, how many clients I talk to, and I'll say to them, let's look at, you know, they'll say, well, I want to know kind of that same question, what marketing strategies I need to take. And I said, well, let's look, do you have Google Analytics on your website? And they'll say, well, I'm pretty sure I do, but they don't have access to it, or they've never even looked at it. And I just cannot stress enough how important it is to kind of look at that, because it doesn't, I mean, it tells you everything, and there's no paid tool, there's no paid analytics tool that's better than Google Analytics. I mean, it tells you so many things. You can set up e-commerce on it. You can track exactly where your sales are coming from. You can look at your market. You can see, you know, what cities they're coming from. And that, so if you're doing, say you're saying you were doing a direct mail campaign, I've had clients who they'll say, well, I sent out a direct mail campaign in California, and I don't really know if it's working. Well, let's look at your Google Analytics. Like, on such and such a date, you had 70% of your traffic came from California. It's working. You know what I mean? So it's amazing how much it tells you.
Absolutely. Well, even this webinar, in Webinar Jam, you know, you can set up Google Analytics. So everything that we do, we actually set it up so that we can see where everything is coming from. So that's been really, really a great help. So Dawn, I think I'm just getting ready to wrap up here. Is there anything, I went over the top 5 things they need to do, and I also talked about freebies, because we know that we get asked that question a lot, like, how do I decide what kind of freebie to put up, and how often do I change it? So I kind of covered that, but if there anything else that you thought about today that you wanted to share?
Oh, no. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, it blanked out for a little bit.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying, I'm just getting ready to sign off. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add before we signed off?
No, I had already seen your Elevate, the 5 things you need to do, and it was awesome. So I'm sorry that I was so late in supporting you.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. I understand. I talked about how awesome you are as an accountability partner, so they get it. All right, so everyone, hopefully you can take advantage of the online business analysis. You will be getting another link, and that will be available for 24 hours, so hopefully you'll take advantage of that, because as Dawn and I know, using it for our own businesses, using it for our clients' businesses, it is fantastic, and we really don't charge enough for it. We really don't. So offering it from 7 is going to be a great deal. As soon as you make your payment, it's downloaded immediately to you. There's nothing else needed. And like I said, go ahead and get started. Fill it out. If you run into a brick wall, keep going. Go through the entire process, and then we'll offer you a half-an-hour strategy session. If you hit a brick wall, or if you have questions, or if you want to go over anything, just let us know, and we'd be happy to help you with that as well. So Dawn and Sheila, the former Advice Chicks, now going to Elevate Your Online Biz. We're going to go ahead and sign off, and hope you all have a fabulous evening. Bye, everybody.